Hey everybody, 2023 Irish Valley cross country, getting ready to hit you right square across the face. This is the next gen 200 class, and I'm gonna kind of cut this up a little bit because you're gonna see the post finish as well. I get a heck of a hole shot, and I wanted to take this chance to kind of highlight a couple of the kids that had come up through from the youth vintage racing, and for the last couple years been racing the adults, and it's just amazing. I raced Joey Spade for the championship a couple years back, and Anthony Lowry as well. It was just one heck of a battle, and both those two have just excelled past anything they had been before, and this year has just been like a big stepping stone. I wanted to give you a couple highlights from Joey Spade when we were racing. There he goes. And I don't know if this boy is playing cat and mouse with me or what, but he impressed me. He's like, get going. I'm not sure what he was doing there. Left the door open. I come back around. I thought, well, I'm going to take it. He didn't really seem to even be on it right there, but I didn't really realize that he had been putting the time and the training and stuff in, and he is so far ahead of where he was last year. It was just really impressive to watch him out there riding. And I always slow down for these stinking ruts. And then you go into the trough here, slide down in. I'm gonna bump up. There he is. Puts the old tight squeeze on me, standing up. And he's got a good mentor in John Ashcraft out there at the Ashcraft Farms, and they've been riding a lot, and you can tell it looks good. Keep it up, Joey. You're doing a great job. Here's the post finish. I'm out on that old Kawasaki. It's a 82 KDX with a 81 KX 250 motor in it. This thing's got more gremlins than the movie, let me tell you. I've had the ignition go out on me. I've worked on the freaking clutch. I had it up at Marty's house at Paradise Cycles there to help me out with it, to get some of the bugs worked out of it. Mechanically, it's doing pretty darn good. I come out in second place, and I'm feeling alright about that. I wasn't sure how the bike was going to run. But one thing I found out real quick, I didn't get any seat time on this thing just because of my work schedule. It felt fine, but I changed from a 13 tooth in the front. I bumped it up to a 14 tooth because I felt like I was winding out too fast. I was trying to, get the setup in this thing just right. And I knew it had some wide open courses in them fields, and I was very short-sighted in the fact that I should have remembered how it was right here. Tight, off camber. Most of the track was that way, rocky. And that's just Irish Valley for you. It's got, a little bit of both. And it was like 5 miles here. I'm trying to catch this fella up in front of me here. On MITs, I'm telling you, they are everywhere. I might look into getting one of these days. I think if I do, I'm not going to go big bore for the cross country. I might look for something in the 185, 250 range. Light, nimble. I love my KTM 200, and I'm just thinking it works great in the woods. These guys do really well on them. I don't know if I'll ever get the setup right on this. If I do, maybe I'll just stick with this Cowie. It's been a long struggle though. It wasn't near as bad as it was a couple years ago down there. It was like a soupy swamp mess right there where we went through, but you could pick a line and not get too cross-rutted in this mess. I cut this part out with Joey and them. I just kind of wanted to highlight them for a little bit. So I'm looking for a way to get around them. I'm just kind of biding my time. I'm thinking when I get to the field section, I'm going to let this thing breathe a little bit, stretch it out, see how it goes. One thing I noticed though when I went to a 14-2 sprocket in the front was it was so harsh coming up onto the pipe. Like I'd be riding and it was just like wah wah. It just like it hit that pipe like a ton, and it made it hard to control the bike in the tight stuff. Did not like that at all. It was really hard to control in the first gear, second gear kind of thing. And you'll see in the wood sections up here, a lot of that wood section was just that way. Like right here, I was loving it. Got that top end speed. I can compete. I got something for this guy here. I'm trying to find a way around. I know I got the horsepower at the top end right here where I need it. Finally get around, and I'm telling you what, if I hadn't gotten around him right there, it was his race to keep, because I couldn't get around him in the tight stuff, and you'll see why. I'm feeling pretty good. Finally got the top spot back. Catching up to the next line of ITs that start in front of us. We're snaking our way up through, but I keep on feeling that bike. It's like it's just hitting that pipe hard. And I'm getting good traction. One of the vet riders, Mike Ruggieri, was telling me, he goes, drop your air pressure down in them back tires a little bit. So I did. Right there, man. That air pressure just hooked up in them tires, and it hit the pipe at the same time and launched me into them trees. Now, what you can't see here is that I got the clutch in, bike stayed running, didn't have to do too much. Felt like I broke my thumb. I felt like I had my glove filling up with blood or something right there, and I was like, I'm gonna try to shake this off, see what's going on. I didn't want to take my glove off at the moment. Got my bell rung for sure. I'm just sitting there, just like shaking my head, just trying to get my wits back, because that hurt. Not gonna lie to you, that hurt. So we're snaking down through here. We're catching up on a couple guys. Looks like old Brian Ashcraft up there. We're gonna try to see if we can get by a couple of these fellas. I'm trying anything I can just to stay, right now I'm thinking I'm still in a race. I'm in the back of my line. And I'm going to do what I can do to keep this bike under control, but it is a handful. It just come up on the pipe, bam. So as soon as I get home, I learned a little bit. The tire pressure thing was good, got tons of traction that way. But one thing I'm going to do is I'm jumping back down to that 13-2 sprocket. There's old Kevin Marshall. Got his Cowie out today. Got the old Punisher jersey on. Like he's out for a Sunday ride, even though it's a Saturday. I'm trying to keep up with him. Not feeling good with how I'm riding this thing. It just doesn't feel good. The whole weekend was revolving around my KTM. I had no time for this Kawasaki after this cross country race. But you can tell there's a lot of the old track, single track, tight, windy, first gear kind of stuff. Kevin pulls over, let me by. So I'm catching up. I think this guy's Yannetti or something like that on a yellow and red bike. I follow him for quite a ways, but I'm thinking him and I take a wrong turn. Tell me where it's at. Coming down through here. Because we do not see something the right way. Something, we just totally blew the course somewhere. Right there it was. Yep, should have turned right there. But instead, we both missed the turn, jumped out into this field section. We're like, what the heck? We knew we missed something. Come down, we're on the wrong side of the markers. We're like, what the heck's going on? So there was another guy, he did the exact same thing, followed us, monkey see, monkey do. We're trying to get the heck out of here. Go across there and get back on course, get the race going again. No harm, no foul, I guess, because we just totally blew that. We missed we went right by the turn. I was so focused on trying to find a line around him, I didn't see it. Saw him go that way, and that's the way I went. This section down and through here typically is muddy, and it was a little muddy, but it wasn't he said they got 5-6 inches of rain in the past week. I tell you, it handled it really well. Wasn't bad. There was an area down here by the pavilion last year that was horrible, and they took that section out. These guys did a good job on track maintenance. Very good job. So I'm still trying to catch him, just trying to see, what am I getting into? I know the mud sections are coming up, and we're going to get into a couple of little troughs here. Here we go. 1, 2. You can see the ruts starting to get formed. It ain't bad though, I tell you. With the air pressure I was running on them old hard Millville tires, it wasn't bad. And in this vintage race, the ruts hadn't gotten that deep, but in that third race, the KTM, yeah, these were a different story then. They had really opened up and got deep. I stalled it out. I'm just trying to give you a taste of that first lap I did, and I think I ended up 6th or 7th or something like that in this. It's just not been a very good start to the post-vintage point this year. I started out with the Husky Pocket, and I'm trying to Cowie out here. Not sure what I'm going to bring to Frackville. I know that's a really tight course at Frackville. Like it a lot. It has a good flow to it. And we'll be heading there in 2 weeks, and I can't wait. Thinking I might bring this bike back again for a second try and change the gearing in it. I thought about getting a set of them V-Force reeds. They work. I put a set of them in my KTM, and what it did was it's supposed to make that 2-stroke on the pipe power you get more linear, like a 4-stroke. And it did do that for the KTM. That KTM, it does not come up on the pipe like that hard. And but I looked around, you can't buy them for this bike. They don't go back that far. So we're gonna stick with the gearing. I'm gonna go down to a 13. I may even bump up a few teeth in the back. And we'll gear down, and we'll keep it for the tight courses, and on the more open courses we'll jump on the Husky. We got options this year, so it's kind of nice. We'll see how it goes. We're snaking our way back out around to the little bit of the motocross track, and then we'll be up there saying hi to the girls at the scoring tent. In just a minute or two. I don't know if this was an old orchard or what, but there's rows of trees and stuff back and forth, back and forth. If I remember right, we come out to a small cheering section out through here. There you go. Guy sitting on the edge of the motocross seat. I think over to Becky. Hey, Becky. Yeah, we'll jump out on just a small portion of this and kind of run the course backwards from what they ran it actually on Sunday. Well, folks, hope you had a good time cruising around for a lap with me on the KTM and the Cowie, and we'll see you in Frackville. Talk to y'all a little later.